ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some Team League Tenacity from Discord 4. Up here in the top left-hand corner, we have the team of Troll, the blue Terran, and Ramar, the red Protoss. And as their opponents down here in the bottom right, we have Akar, the light blue Protoss, and his teammate cLgALvin, the purple Terran. As this game starts off, this is a mirror matchup for a 2v2, which is something that you don't see a whole lot, especially if somebody's going for something as specialized as like a PT matchup. But on a map like Discord 4, PT is just such a powerhouse, because if you can build siege lines on these dual ramps, you can just completely control the middle of the map and actually completely control 2/3 of the map, unless your enemies are going for something like a really Banshee-oriented play, or a really kind of just air Terran or air Protoss oriented play. But I mean, most of the time you don't see something as crazy as that. And if you have these two ramps, you completely control both of the golds, both of the side expansions locations, your top expansions. The only expansions that you can't deny, or that, well, you can deny them, but the only expansions that you are not denying with that sort of lineup are the expansions that your enemy has. None of these players are going for anything out of the ordinary. We have a reasonably fast barracks coming out of cLgALvin. Actually, not reasonably fast, a perfectly timed barracks coming out of cLgALvin. Neither of them is actually ahead on that barracks production, I don't think. Maybe it might be Troll ahead by like 2 seconds, maybe. And it looks like both of the Terrans are going for the exact same build, which is barracks into refinery. We do have a car going for a reasonably fast assimilator, actually. Usually you see that assimilator go down when it's like a quarter of the way through the gateway, and it's already done this early, so I think he went for an extremely fast assimilator with that play. And it does look like Ramar is going for a really fast forge, which is an interesting choice, because most of the time when you go for a really fast forge, you're trying to go for a fast expansion, and really, you see, there is a cannon here at your forge, another cannon, maybe a pylon, and a couple of cannons, and then your Terran buddy will wall off here or over here, but most likely here so that you're not quite as far spread out. And then you just have a very easily defended position, but with this forge first into not a fast expand, he's really just denying his ability to create any type of units to attack. Even though, and these cannons die, this is a pretty sloppy build and extremely defensive. He doesn't really need these photon cannons down here. Plus the fact is that those photon cannons aren't protecting a lot. I mean, a Banshee could fly, a Rat could fly over these photon cannons and just start annihilating a probe line. And these probes would have to run into the photon cannons instead of the photon cannons being like here and here, and these probes just not even having to run anywhere because those Banshees will get cleaned up. We do have a fast factory coming out of cLgALvin, so I think he's going to be going for some type of 1-1-1 play. Just by the fact that he didn't drop a second barracks. And Troll is going for a 3 racks play with fast Reapers, so I think he's going to be going for a Reaper expand, or a type of like Reaper scout, or maybe Reaper harass, which can be a very effective play, but only if you use your Reapers well, and you get a whole lot of Reapers out. If you really want to do a lot of damage with Reapers, you need like 8 to 10 Reapers, because then you can kill, 4 probes at a time, because the Reaper AI will smart fire onto different probes, and every shot that you take will take out 4 or 5 probes, which is a lot of economic damage that you can do to your opponent. But I don't really think that these Reapers are going to be able to do a lot, considering the fact that there's only 2 of them. And I don't think he's even really counting on them to do a lot, because he's going right into Stimpack. He does have a factory coming up. He has a second tank lab going down, which is kind of a surprise. Most of the time you see somebody go for very heavy Marines with a dabbling of Marauders, but I think that Troll's going to be going for more of like a 50-50 Marauder to Marine split. The scouting probe did just get denied by this photon cannon, actually completely denied. It didn't even poke its way up the ramp. It does look like cLgALvin is walling off with Marines, which is an interesting choice. He should be thanking his lucky stars that he's not playing against the Zerg right now, because a Banling bust would absolutely destroy that position. It does look like these Reapers are going in for some probe kills. I'm surprised that he's like letting that probe that is 4 health just get away. I think he's only killed 4 probes? Yeah, 4 probes. And these Stalkers are going to now completely deny any more Reapers kills. Unless he might be able to snipe off that SCV. Oh, he just completely ignores it. Well, he did at least see this very early Banshee play, and I think he's going to... Oh, he actually didn't see that Banshee pop out. That's surprising and extremely lucky, I feel, for cLgALvin, because, you know, I think that he can make a very educated guess on what cLgALvin is doing, but really Troll and Ramnar have absolutely no idea. They cannot think 100% about it. Troll did see the early command center, so he's going to know that it's going to be an expansion, but they can't really punish that because of the early forge that came out of Ramnar. They're not going to be able to do a whole lot about it. And I think this game is going to transition into something that is extremely normal, considering the fact that cLgALvin is going to up his barracks count, get the tech lab onto that. I'm surprised he hasn't put a tech lab or a reactor onto this, preferably I would say a reactor, because he's going to want those Marines to help to counter any type of air play that comes out of Ramnar and Troll. It looks like Troll's going to be going for medevacs out of this starport, which is a very good thing when you're playing with a Protoss that's going for this kind of heavy zealot, for kind of heavy zealot numbers, especially if, oh god, the Dark Shrine got spotted. That is not what Ramnar wanted to happen. That's extremely bad for Ramnar. I'm surprised he's not just canceling it at this point. Because, I mean, that Dark Shrine is a very high overcommitment. He could just cancel this Dark Shrine, go for +1 weapons, get charged, and, you know, just go for an extremely strong Zealot play with a Marine Marauder backbone, because Zealots can really do a whole lot of damage to heavy tank play. Because, you know, charged Zealots just move so fast once they get into an area where they can move that fast, and then, you know, the siege tanks aren't just shelling the Zealots, they're shelling their fellow siege tanks, and Zealots actually almost have as much health as a siege tank, so every time that, you know, you kill off 2 Zealots, you're also killing one of your own siege tanks. Plus, you know, those Zealots are dealing damage to your siege tanks also, so it's just a terrible amount of damage. It does look like we're going to see fast expansions, or reasonably fast expansions, out of both of our bottom right-hand, out of both of the members of our bottom right-hand team. Akar should be dropping this any second now. He could drop it right now, but it looks like he's not going to. We do have a reasonably fast +1 weapons upgrade going out for Akar, which I don't know how I feel about that, because I think he knows that this is a very heavy Marine Zealot force, so I think he could be going for something more like armor, whereas, actually he has a very fast +1 too, I definitely believe that Akar should have gone for some sort of armor upgrade. He is getting Blink, which is very good on a map like this, where so many of these cliffs are very easy to abuse Blink on, because if you Blink it from like here to here, you know, you just get a lot of time to either run away or just rain down death upon your foes as they try to get up to your level. We do have Troll and Ramnar just building up their attacks. We have a Ghost coming out, and it looks like that Ghost is going to be getting cloaked, so I think we might see some nuke play out of Troll, actually, because that's really the only reason you get cloaked Ghosts, that and EMPs. But I don't think he's really all that focused on EMPs, because there's one unit that uses energy, and these are all just stalkers. And although EMP is extremely useful for stalkers, it's still kind of, you know, I think he's going to be focusing on nukes. Or at least I really hope he's focusing on nukes, because I don't see a whole lot of nuke play. I want some nukes. He is building a nuke. Yes! Man, that excites me. It does look like the Banshees got scared off. Where did those Banshees actually... Oh, there they are. Alright, so I think one of these Banshees died, because I'm fairly sure he had 3 in this attack pattern. And those Banshees really didn't do a whole lot of work. They killed... These 2 killed 4 things, which doesn't pay for either of them, really. It does look like this expansion is... Don't attack! Oh... If he had waited for this Nexus to finish and then he killed the Nexus, man, that would have been so much damage to have to deal with. I'm not even sure if he could have dealt with it, really. I mean, if he had sniped that Nexus as soon as it finished, it would have been awful. He is building up... Both of our Protoss players are actually building up an insane amount of Chrono Boost. Troll is spending his energy reasonably well, and so is cLgALvin. I think they're both saving up for scans just in case they need that scan. Does look like we have the DTs here, and nuke. This is going to be a nuke. He can definitely stay out of range of this missile turret, but he's just going to run into the siege line. And you know the siege line's there. You probably think that there's a missile turret there. You know it's there. Oh, Ramar. Well, he did some damage to that missile turret. I don't think it was worth it, though. That was actually quite a buzzkill for Ramar and Troll. I was feeling some nuke action right there. You know, nuke to clean this up, run the DTs in to clean off the missile turret, and then just completely decimate this area. And I think all of our players have a trust fund. Akar actually has a fairly small trust fund. I will give that to him. And he actually has a very balanced trust fund. He has almost the same amount of both gas and minerals, which he really doesn't need. I'm surprised he's not going for heavy void rays. And he has a fleet beacon. That is a very interesting choice, because he's also not going for a mothership, and he's not going for a carrier, which is, you know, the only things that you get a fleet beacon for. I'm not surprised that he's not going for carriers, because carriers are not that good, but I am surprised that he's not going for that type of mothership play, because motherships can be extremely effective in this game. I'm wondering if he just thought that he could still get Void Ray speed, and just use Void Ray's speed to clean everything up. But yeah, this isn't amazing. It does look like we have some medevac drops here coming out. This is a very small, only anti-ground force which he's moving out with. Does he have any? I'm surprised he's not bringing his stalkers along, because he has these photon cannons to protect this mineral line. I'm actually highly amazed that he's not bringing the stalkers along, especially because these banshees are going to see this. Oh, that is terrible. That is terrible for Ramar. Especially if he didn't pull back in time, he's gonna lose this entire force, even if he runs it. That scan going down to try to be able to see these banshees, but it's not gonna be able to do anything. Because even though he can see the banshees, he still can't hit them with his sideways. As Ramar moves up, yeah, it's just gonna be these zealots are basically just sacrificial, trying to distract them from this drop that's going on in the main. I don't think this is a big enough drop where it's going to completely destroy him, but if he kills Akar's Nexus, this game could be over in 5 minutes. He just needs to kill Akar's Nexus, and it looks like he's going to completely ignore it and just let it live. It does look like this, as this drop cleans up, actually I am going to be transitioning into part 2 of this video, so if you guys want to watch part 2 of this video, you can just go ahead and check out the video responses. It will probably be up there, so I will see you in a little bit.